What's up, everybody, and welcome to the back 10 of round 2 here at the 2021 Myrtle Beach Open, presented by US Disc Golf. This coverage is brought to you by J. Mike's Flavor Station. When you're in the Myrtle Beach area, stop in and get yourself a famous beef jerky taco. Yes, you heard that right, a beef jerky taco. And this commentary is brought to you by Parked Podcast. My name is Mitch Phillips. Joining me is my co-host, Hayden Riccard. How are you, dude?
Doing good, and that beef jerky taco sounds delicious, and I am ready to see the course open up a little bit for these ladies so they don't have such a brutal time out there.
Yeah, the course is really showing its teeth. Not one player on our card is under par this far through the round, but checking on the leaderboard, really no one is under par except for the one and only Deanne Carey is making a push for that lead card tomorrow in the final round. Let's go ahead and jump into hole 10 here.
All right, hole 10, we got a 405-foot hole, par 3. This is going to play out pretty good for these women. Big shot off the tee. I would say almost full max driver, trying to get as much distance as you can, and then finishing to the right towards the basket.
Yeah, you're really going to see most of these women play this for par. This is a full shot. You see Rebecca Cox reaching for a grace here. That wind really coming into play.
Yeah, that left to right wind is going to definitely affect them on this hole. A little bit more height, I think she would have skipped off the ground and got a little bit further down.
Yeah, let's see if Macie can correct. Looks like she's throwing a Raider here.
Yep.
Going to be a straight to stable driver. Definitely going to stand up a little bit more in that wind, asking for it to come back.
It's a good mash.
Oh, yeah. Great skip. Going to be probably about edge of circle 2 there.
See Holly Finley throwing a full max driver here. Didn't get enough turn on it. It's going to fade out quickly, but she's going to have a look to lay it up for her par.
Yeah, just very simple par, not as cut off as maybe Rebecca is on that right side of the tree line. Here's Natalie Ryan throwing a D2. Known for her distance on that Anheuser angle. Let's see what she can do here. Oh, yeah, using the full fairway.
Yeah.
That wind bounce.
That wind bounce helped out a lot.
She's going long.
Gosh. She's gone way long.
Oh, my goodness.
And she'll have a look at birdie from that point.
Yeah, just outside circle 1 there.
Holly trying to lay it up close for her par. And just a little hyzer out just a little bit
left, but she'll still be inside the circle.
Yeah.
Here's Rebecca.
She can definitely make those putts.
Yeah. The way she was putting in the front 9, definitely are expecting her to do that. Really tough lie there from Rebecca. Going to be outside the circle for sure from there, but maybe a long look if she can sneak it through those trees.
Got Macie here, just laying up, taking the par. It's pretty smart.
Yeah, you're not going to see a lot of birdies here on this one, especially with that wind coming in, just wanting to push everything down. Rebecca with an unfortunate bogey coming up. Here's Natalie for birdie. Oh, just low. You could really tell she wanted it there with the body language towards the end. To even have a look to be long of this pin with
That's
the
impressive.
conditions, yeah, it's an incredible shot.
And Holly almost had it.
Yeah,
She's
just
come
left.
back for her bogey.
Yeah, good committed putt there to continue on after the front 9. Hoping to see her on this back 10 be able to really commit on those putts for pars, for birdies. A lot of those were for bogeys and double bogeys in the front 9. Natalie taking her time here.
Good finish.
Yeah, great par there. It's a very rare birdie here on hole 10.
And Macie cleaning up her par. I mean, she's four holes through on par. And I mean, that's pretty good considering how tough this course can be.
Yeah, moving into hole 11, par 3, 363 feet. This one definitely has some teeth as you go across the bridge here. And then it's a very tight green on this right side next to the tree line. Definitely want to make sure you're not going too long on that approach because you're going to get really stuck back there. But it's blind off the tee. Most players you're going to see maybe throw a forehand or even lay up to the bridge and have a straight shot look at it. Macie with that forehand power really pushing the distance here just a little bit high. That definitely would have had a good reaction if it would have gotten all the way across the bridge. See the wind coming in too.
And I think Macie's forehand just had a little bit too much turn to get the distance, and it didn't want to fade back.
Yeah, Natalie throwing really the identical shape shot she threw there on hole 10, but just got pushed down a little bit more than she was expecting. Definitely a beat-in D2 out of her.
Yeah, but you can be happy to hit that gap there that you needed to over that bridge. I mean, that's perfect.
Yeah, let's see if Rebecca can correct on that. Maybe give it a little bit more height and hit this angle with a backhand shot here. Oh,
looked good out of the hand.
Yeah, gonna have that straight look to the pin, similar to Macie. Holly lining up a big Anheuser shot here.
Oh yeah, just sneak past those.
Mm-hmm.
Really good shot.
Yeah, that'll be a great.
She's been doing that really good this whole weekend.
Yeah, this whole weekend so far, she's been just mastering that Anheuser shot with that late turn, which is definitely what this course asks for.
Yeah.
Rebecca putting it a little bit outside the circle there, similar to hole 10, but definitely going to need to get that putter warm.
I think if she threw a more stable disc there, she would have been closer to the pin.
And Macie slipping a little bit on that shot, leaving it even more outside the circle. Going to be a tough comebacker there for par.
And
Holly
I
giving
think
a little bit of a
she
run.
was trying to go for that one.
Yeah. We've said it a lot on this course so far. The trees are very, very, very prevalent on these greens. So being able to be on the side of the basket where there's the least trees is definitely helpful. As you can see, Natalie there, make sure there's no trees in her way.
That was a good ground play by that disc.
I believe that's an A2 she's been throwing on those forehands. Man, the wind just destroyed her putt there. Unlucky for Macie.
No height on that one.
Let's see if Rebecca can correct after seeing that. Definitely enough height.
She tried to.
All right, here's Holly in this similar position she was in a lot so far this weekend. Still being able to find that natural stroke is such a big deal, especially for someone as a spin putter like herself. Oh my goodness, yes. Through the small gap, lean out, patent pending spin putt. I mean, it doesn't get any prettier than that.
It's so much fun to watch that.
Yeah, she has that really interesting grip, but she gets a lot of torque out of that spin putt, and it definitely pays off there for a really great par.
Natalie Ryan for the par. That was a good par save there.
Yeah, she made it through the gap, but definitely being able to lay up and have a lot easier par than Holly had.
Mm-hmm. And Rebecca taking the bogey while she can.
Macie also with the unfortunate bogey. Definitely the upshot coming into play there. Some weird footing and maybe not exactly where they wanted to be on that left side.
Yeah. Moving into hole 12, this is 200 feet, par 3. You can either go up the gap straight or go big hyzer. It's very touchy with the big hyzer, so you have to really get the angle right.
Yeah, it's controlling that speed because it is only 200 feet. You're going to see a lot of players maybe throw a slower speed disc, but really have to commit to the angle because if you push it too long here, you're going to get stuck there on the right, as you can see Natalie do right there. The correct height, but definitely maybe a little bit more overstable disc to correct on that one.
And I think you can see Holly going straight down the gap.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Understable mid-range. Even going long, hitting the gap too well.
It's 200 feet, man. I mean, you got to control your throw and not go long.
Yeah, we saw Katrina in round 1 do that where she would kind of slower pace down and be able to even throw a standstill forehand on some of these holes that were under that 250 feet. Rebecca may be lining up the straight shot as well. Seems to be.
Her run-up's very interesting.
Yeah, minimizing her run-up, being able to have a consistent reach-back point, and the timing works for her.
Yeah, I mean, hey, don't change anything that doesn't need changing.
Mm-hmm.
If it works for you, keep going.
Natalie with a long look here.
At the right height.
Yeah, just a little bit of a half run there, knowing how close those trees are. If she gets a roll away, that's going to be a tough comeback.
And Macie just outside, probably circle 2.
Yeah, mid-circle 2 for sure. Oh, enough height on that spin putt. Finally looking for one to drop. The correction's there, though. It's getting closer and closer on that spin putt as the round's gone on. Speaking of spin putts, see if Holly can continue. Oh, just a bit right.
And that's the thing about that spin putt. You got to be very accurate.
Yep, she goes from one side of the circle to the other.
Yeah, you can go long. It's very, very tight window of how accurate you have to be.
You see it again there, kick out. She is committed on it, though. I love to see that. It's not like she's holding back, even though that is a long putt. Great birdie there from Rebecca. Definitely one of the must-gets with it being 200 feet, but because the lines are so tight.
It can be tough.
Yeah. And as you're seeing Holly here with the putt, this is the third putt on the green. Maybe like Cole just getting to her grip maybe a little bit. Really digging her feet in here, making sure she's able to correct on this.
Just released it a little bit low.
Yeah, definitely the grip and the cold starting to affect that hand. Still a lot of holes to play here.
And this is when you're going to look back at as a player and be like, man, I should have made that.
Yeah, and it's those moments where you realize I should have taken my time maybe a little bit more. But again, the conditions have been there. I mean, I've played tournaments where my hand is solid red and wet, and I cannot putt more than 15 feet.
And your disc is hard as a rock.
Right, and they're nearing those conditions here as the rain is starting to come in. Just a little bit. Moving on to hole 13 is a par 5. First par 5 we've seen so far on this course. 595 feet, dog leg left. You're going to see a lot of the players try to make the corner here, but also isn't a bad play to just throw a straight shot. It is a par 5. You have enough time and enough strokes to get down this fairway. On the second shot, maybe third shot, you really want to minimize how far left and right you're going, because if you get off at all, this course really shows its teeth. And as we get closer to the green here, it does finish on the right side of the fairway, but the fairway is small enough where even if you're on the left side, you'll have a putt just outside the circle. So this first shot, really a placement shot from these ladies.
Yeah, and you can see Rebecca going here. She goes a little bit long. That's just that touchy distance. You got to know, like, kind of pick a corner, control your speed, and make that corner. Yeah,
it's either giving it more height or it's giving it maybe a little bit of a skip shot with how wet this ground is and how compact the sand is.
And even Natalie, I thought hers out of the hand looked really good, but
throwing a slower disc,
little bit longer.
Still, yeah.
I think they're trying to throw just a little bit too hard, trying to really break that corner.
Yep. Macie slowing down just a little bit, still finding that backside of the fairway here.
It must be closer than they think.
Yeah, on camera here, it looks a little bit further than it is. Holly making the correction with a little bit more height. Still going long, but she fights through with a little bit more window to get out. Definitely not the drives they were looking for here, but being a par 5, you see Macie laying up, taking her medicine, setting up for that next shot, making sure she has good footing.
And she can get a par from there if she has a good second shot.
For sure.
Or a third shot. And Rebecca doing the same thing, just getting out.
Yeah, nearly putting, but to the middle of the fairway. Natalie may be looking like she has a little bit more of a lining up a forehand. Yeah, just inching forwards, making that third shot a little bit easier to maybe have a look to save the par. Holly with enough room for a run-up, it seems.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, great shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, not a bad shot. Take as much distance as you can.
Yeah, probably a similar shot she would have thrown even if she was in the middle of the fairway. Looking like she's trying to bite off this hole little by little. Full commitment there from Macie.
It looked like a good rip out of her hand. It's just missing those trees.
Rebecca going fairway driver here, trying to get to the pin. Oh, just a little bit right. That shot is so touchy to be able to push really far. You can see Natalie going down to a putter here to make sure she can hit the gap. Sneaking through on the left side. Wow.
Circle 2?
Wow, that second shot she had out of the woods. Yeah. Second shot out of the woods definitely put her in a good position, being able to go to the forehand, inch down that fairway a little bit, even from, maybe an obscure drive. There's Holly going for the green.
Yeah.
Great upshot there.
That's a good shot.
Having that run up, even being in the woods after the first shot, definitely putting her in a good position. Rebecca here just not loving being able having to throw a forehand roller.
Going into the other fairway. And you see Macie here just lining up a putter shot.
With enough power there, maybe to give it a little bit of a run, knowing she has a backstop. We'll see if that maybe comes back to bite her or not with the putt from just outside the circle. Rebecca just catching the foliage on the way out.
Macie here for the par putt. Just
Really
lays
good
it
one.
up. And honestly, a bogey on this hole is not bad.
Not with the width of the fairway and how these conditions are starting to play.
Natalie here for the, I believe this is a birdie.
Oh, just early out of the hand. Would have been strokes on folks there. Holly checking her spin putt there, making sure she's not going to rotate her wrist into that tree. Yeah, maybe adjusting her stroke, but getting a birdie on this hole is phenomenal.
Great birdie.
She's consistently shown just the scramble percentage that she's just pushing.
You're definitely going to take one on the whole card.
If not the field.
Yeah, if not the field.
And that's a really good recovery from her. We've seen a couple times so far on this back 10 where Holly has not really had a chance to even be close for birdie, but being able to get on a hole like this is definitely a confidence booster heading into the rest of this round. As Macie taps out her bogey. Really tough par 5 here on 13. Let's head over to hole 14, par 4, 526 feet.
Par 4, going down the fairway. It's pretty much almost a straight shot down the fairway, trying to lay up right next to this tree and then approach the elevated basket that is dog leg to the right.
Yeah, definitely a picturesque basket there with the bricks. Got the flowers up there. This is kind of the shot that Holly's been mastering here, the turnover fairway.
And you can see that wet tee pad. It's going to make it even harder on these ladies.
Especially with a shot that is very, very reliant. Maybe disking down to a mid-range or something they wouldn't throw to be able to not lose any control as the rain starts to come in. Natalie definitely slowing down her stroke there to make sure she can hit the
And
line
focusing
she wants.
on her feet. Make sure they are staying planted.
Let's see if Macie can use this advantage of the forehand to really get down here. Ooh, just
Gets
a little
down.
bit too much turn, but it fights through.
Yeah.
Yes. Good little roll there at the end to put her in the middle.
Not a bad shot at all. I think Rebecca's going with the fairways driver here. A little bit. Oh, almost got sneaky. It's going to be a tough lie to get back out to the fairway from there.
And she's somewhere in the jungle there, trying to find her way back to the fairway. Yep, just playing up and over
Trying
with
to
the
get
putter.
out.
Oh, just barely not making it out. Going to another overhand shot. Hit something, keep her in. A little bit of a quarter pipe jump there.
Should be on the edge.
Here's Holly for her second shot. A good spot on the fairway. Definitely trying to make it there with that turnover. Oh, I thought she was past that, yeah?
I thought she was as well. That was an understable mid-range that she was throwing. Trying to get more control out of it.
Yeah, I can't say enough how Holly's been just shaping these fairways with those turnover shots.
Yeah, that'll do.
Natalie giving it all the height possible on this fairway, making the corner just outside circle for a look for birdie.
Right through.
Rebecca really trying to get down there, but you can see all those guardian trees as we approach the green.
Yeah, this green kind of wants a turnover Anheuser shot, maybe a forehand, as you can see Macie go to this. Just a bit short on that elevated basket, but to be on the green in two, to go forehand, definitely displaying that skill in Macie's game.
And Holly getting a tree kick into the woods over there. Going to be tough to get up and lay up for the par.
Nice little tree kick there for Rebecca.
I actually believe this is her par shot here.
Think she's giving it a run? A little bit, a little bit. Here's Natalie. Yeah, just kind of laying it up there, knowing
Just
that that's for
sitting it there.
par. Yeah.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
No, especially this elevated basket as the conditions worsen.
Rebecca going for it
And sticking the landing.
makes it into the flowers.
She's laughing about it. Probably thinking if she has to climb up there, that would be quite the sight. Good to see the camaraderie between these ladies and playing together week in and week out.
And having an elevated basket during this weather is definitely intimidating because, I mean, it's already intimidating in general when you have good weather, but
Right.
now you have weather, rain, you're cold.
Yeah, it's a lot of things. Wow.
That was rifled in there.
What a catch. Just full commitment there from Holly.
Yeah, you can. You have a sheet.
Goodness.
Should be room.
And this is not the last elevated basket we're going to see on this course.
Oh, yeah, she's there.
Trying to figure out how she can place her elbow there, maybe put her lie there. Should be able to just take a step behind it.
Yeah, you can just stand right behind it.
Definitely would have been neat to see the elbow lean putt, though. Unfortunate triple bogey there for Rebecca, but being able to laugh about it and enjoy herself along the way is definitely something it's good to see in these conditions as we continue on in this back 10.
The XT Nova, it taught me how to throw smooth, clean lines, but it also taught me how to build trust in my disc. I can put it on any line and it will hold it. I know when I throw it, it's gonna stick right there. I feel like it's very unique, and it kind of reminds me like nobody's ever the same. That's what I love about it. It stands out. And for me as a person, I like to stand out.
Hole 15, par 3, 237 feet, an absolute hallway. Well, not a hallway in my house. If I had a mansion, this is a very long hallway, but really just pick the shot that you can throw straight, maybe a mid-range, maybe a faster putter, be able to really commit to this. The shot gets really tough when the conditions are like they are in the cold. Being able to hit your line becomes more and more difficult.
And I think you want to hold on to the disc a little bit more because you're not sure if you're gonna early release, but a lot of them are gonna late release, as you see Macie Vlediaz do that.
See if Holly can make the correction here.
Just throwing it understable mid range. She's liking this thing all day.
Giving it enough height to get there. Oh, favorable kick forwards. Makes it up the fairway a lot more than she was probably expecting after that kick.
Sneaks through.
We see Rebecca lining up, looking for the hyzer flip as well. See if she can make the correction. Oh, yes. Absolutely puring it.
Get a little skip.
Oh, yeah.
Woo!
Oh, yeah.
Take a bow, Rebecca Cox. That was a phenomenal shot here on 15. Natalie throwing the grenade, following the footsteps of her fellow Prodigy partner, Kevin Jones. Oh, just a little bit short, but that's really all she had there, yeah?
That's a hard shot, though. Throwing a grenade is really tough.
Yeah, Hayden and I play together often, and we've realized a grenade can only go so far, but when you need it, it can do a lot for you.
Gotta have some power behind it.
Mm-hmm.
And Macie just throws out to the fairway, trying to get a putt at the basket, and almost has it.
Definitely the most confident step putt we've seen from her so far. Mm-hmm. She's finding that timing, finding that rhythm.
I think Natalie was just a little bit obstructed. I can't tell if those little bushes were in her way or not. And
Maybe having to come out
height.
Anheuser.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. After a favorable kick, just low for Holly for the
little
birdie.
half bid.
We've seen her hit those before. Those little step out shots. Great putt there to save the bogey from Natalie. It's always a good feeling when you can get a fist pump even on a bogey putt, knowing that you got out, knowing that you finished the hole, can walk away with confidence. We're going to get to Rebecca's drive here in a couple minutes. I mean, my goodness, what a park job. And Hayden and I having our podcast be called Parked, we are very, very excited to see a true park job.
Yeah, don't hit your head on when you putt that.
Have you ever actually done that? Have you ever actually hit your head on the basket?
No. Have you?
No. I have played doubles, and you throw a great shot, and then your friend goes up there to tap it in, and they purposely miss it and make you walk all the way back.
Yeah.
You've never done that.
His name is Andrew Tanner. And also, I mean, Rebecca, I mean, that's got to feel good after taking a triple bogey on hole 14.
To go triple bogey and straight into birdie as the rain comes in, that's a great confidence booster to finish out this round.
Moving into hole 16, another par 5, 810 feet, probably one of the furthest par 5s out here. And look at this room that you have. The women are going to probably throw a big hyzer shot, trying to get it out in the fairway as far as they can down there. And then your second shot, I mean, it's open as well. Just throw a little bit of flip up all the way down to the green. And this is probably the most unobstructed green you'll see out here.
Yeah, and to drive as well. It's really just a bigger version of the previous par 5 that they played in distance and in just width across the fairway. See Rebecca just asking for it to come back as she rips on that fairway driver. Great reaction through.
Holly Finley looks like she's going full speed driver. Big hyzer with a little bit of turn. Get as much distance as she can. Spotter has to move out of the way. Oh yeah, perfect. Nothing wrong with that at all.
Yeah, this first shot looks like it needs to be maybe make the corner, that big right to left hyzer shot, but the way that these women are playing this, it's more of a straight shot and just put yourself in a good position. Of course, as I say that, Natalie definitely cuts the corner and throws a very overstable.
Gets a little bit of a roll.
That's going to be in a good spot for a second shot look.
Macie going full speed driver as well.
She's seen 3 great drives. Let's see if she continues. Oh.
Just holds on to it a little bit too long. But let's see if she can come out and maybe make a play for par.
Yeah, thinking about the turnover flick maybe, but really the backhand hyzer. That tree's a little bit in her way though. Yeah, having to slow down her speed. Playing the skip. That's a great recovery shot there. Should still have a look for par, but it's going to be a long way.
Yeah.
Where she's at, she still has kind of a hyzer shot more compared to a straight shot. But that's a perfect shot from where she's at.
Rebecca looking up, throwing a mid-range here.
Just playing for placement. The left and the right of this fairway just get really mean really quick, especially that right side, how thick the foliage is. But the left side, you have all these really small trees. Oh my God.
Oh, she doesn't even know.
Oh, the spotter was breathing heavy or trying to push it out there. That was wacky. Puts her back out in the fairway.
And Holly almost following suit.
Gets a nice tree kick.
Really nice tree kick there.
You can see her slowing down her feet there. She was kind of in a little bit of a mud.
And
Definitely
I think this
in mud.
Fairway is very, very soaking wet.
Yeah, Natalie going to a standstill shot there. Not really what you want to be doing on a par 5, but knowing that that was her most confident shot. Having to go to a standstill again. A little too much turn. Maybe a favorable kick out. Unfortunately, fights through.
I think it just drops down.
It's going to be interesting to see what she's got on that third shot coming up. It's a little bit low from Rebecca. Favorable ground play, though.
I think the footing is just, they're worried about it. And
seems to be getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
But you can see these women making really good decisions here. Throwing those slower speed discs, knowing that their footing maybe not be ideal. And again, Holly Finley just putting a show on of this understable
inside the
disc.
circle.
Wow. If it's an orange disc and it's understable, it's going to do some great things in Holly Finley's hand. Going orange disc overstable is Macie Vlediaz for the
Still have a
approach.
look there. A little bit obstructed.
You can really see Natalie does not have much here as she's on that left side. Unfortunate. Nearly sitting down on her shot there. Just nothing. Definitely aiming to get to the pin here if she can. Oh, favorable tree kick. Gives her a look.
That would have gone long if it didn't hit the tree.
Yeah. Maybe a little bit of a run here. Definitely a run from Rebecca.
They held the Anheuser a little bit longer. I think it was definitely looking closer towards the basket.
Yeah, here's Natalie after making it out of the woods. This would be a great putt. just low.
I felt like that kind of dropped out of her hand.
Yeah, maybe not as much power as she thought, realizing she was circle's edge. Oh,
Give it to her. She was,
been all over the basket today.
yeah, she really has.
Step putts are getting more confident, and then she has this obstructed kind of weird straddle putt. What a good par from Rebecca.
It's a good stroke to get.
Played her game. She threw a lot of mid-ranges down the fairway. Made the corner on the first one. Holly having to avoid puddles here. What a great birdie. Her putt, we just can't say it enough, is so fun to watch. The power that goes in there.
And I don't think she gets there if she didn't throw that orange disc.
Yeah, honestly. Makes you want to go out and get all orange fairway drivers and mid-ranges.
I don't even know what mid-range it is, but hey.
Yeah, it's working for her. Moving into hole 17, par 3, 303 feet. This one, the soccer field there on the left is out of bounds. If you're landing in this ditch, it's not. But very obstructed green. You're going to see a lot of players having to throw kind of a flex line out of the hand, maybe even a forehand layup on that right. The wind is definitely affecting the shots here, and it's a really tricky green to attack, and the gap off the tee is no joke either. Yeah,
the gap off the tee is intimidating for sure.
Great shot from Holly to get all the way through, and I'm probably almost into circle one, yeah?
I believe so. Couldn't see that there at the finish, but it looked like it.
A little bit of lower shot here from Rebecca.
She gets out on the fairway.
Yep. Slides up. Yeah, this is a hole that can get ugly pretty quick if you don't get off the tee clean.
Macie going full driver here.
Definitely going for the pin.
And trying to get a little skip. She does.
She goes long.
She goes long. Almost into the culvert.
We have seen many players go into that culvert. Some of the men's coverage they were searching for after that rain had come in later on in the day. Thankfully, it hasn't flooded yet.
And Natalie going with fairway driver there and just hits a little early tree after holding onto it a little too long.
Yeah, with the overstable fairway driver in her hand, she's probably going for a little bit more of a flex play. Maybe not just enough Anheuser out. Asking for it to get down. It does.
I mean, from where she is and being able to get through onto that green, that's not a bad shot.
It's a great touch. Rebecca given a great height to maybe even look for a run. Thankful for that last tree, though, because that would have definitely gone long down that hill and been a really tough comebacker.
You look at Holly's putt. I mean, she's got to run for this.
Mm-hmm. It is uphill. That wind is kind of swirling. Yeah.
She had no... I don't think she wanted to mess with it.
No
death putts on either side.
Yeah. Same with Macie.
Yeah.
Would have been cool to see Macie go to a forehand putt there, maybe give it a run, knowing she's got to make up some strokes as we finish out this round 2. Here's Rebecca for par. Just right.
And a little bit long there. She's going to have a tester coming back.
Complete different wind as well. On the opposite side of the basket. See if she can adjust the putt. Oh, just right again.
Just barely.
Catches a lot of change there. Taking no time at all.
No time. She was like, I'm done.
Was that a lefty putt?
Yeah, that was a lefty putt.
I think it was a lefty putt.
Yeah.
Showing off the tricks, Natalie.
Now, I don't know if she's ambidextrous, but
it kind of felt like she
would not do that in a tournament. I will tell you that much.
There was more speed behind that timing, behind that putt. Went to a spin putt, lefty glove on, bag in hand.
No, thank you. Not doing that in a tournament.
Natalie Ryan showing it how it's done.
I probably won't even do that in a practice round or just any round.
We'll try it and let you know. Unfortunate double bogey there for Rebecca. Just tough green to be putting on. Good par here from Holly. And Macie tapping in the par as well.
Moving on to hole 15, another par 5. This one's a little bit tough. 615 feet. Pretty tight gap here. You got the woods on the left, woods on the right, big hill. Really just trying to get as far down as you can, as straight as you can.
Yeah, right to left slope, par 5. And you think you're done hole 18, but no. We've got 2 more holes after this. This is a doozy. We've seen some people go, layup, 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 just play for par. You can really go for it, though, if you wanted to.
And you only have 1 more hole after this.
Oh, it is. It's 19. You're right.
But it's also an elevated basket, so a little bit more difficult.
Ollie going again to that understable mid-range. Gets a favorable kick down to the bottom. And you do see a lot of discs do that, even though it looks like you're going to be up there on the right. They tend to push you back down or even be on top of that ridge there and have kind of a different vantage point. What a skip after that misrelease.
And then slide back down into the fairway to have a decent footing.
Yeah, I think footing is something I would look for on this hole for sure. Going to the forehand, maybe looking for a flex. Using the whole fairway there. What a smooth release. And then you're going to get that little bit roll down right to the middle of the fairway.
Yeah, if you can match that hill, come in with that sharp angle, it's going to bounce back and probably trickle down towards the fairway.
Yeah, and as we were talking about in the beginning of this hole, there's a couple of like landing zones you can go. This hole being 615 feet, being a par 5, you really can split it up to a 200-foot shot, a 200-foot shot, a 200-foot shot, and be looking at a birdie. But if you're off by just a little bit, as you can see Rebecca here, that second shot, third shot gets really difficult really quick.
Cut off just a little bit there, it looks like.
Macie going full commit.
Another favorable kick.
Should have a forehand up there to maybe even look for the birdie.
And Holly's going with that trusty fairway driver.
Great angle control there to really control the stand up and fade. What a shot from Holly.
Really, really good shots with these orange discs.
I mean, we don't know her bag too well. She may just have only orange discs, so she's been throwing different discs every time. But either way,
no idea.
Putting in work.
A little bit early release out of that forehand, rolled it over.
Kind of an awkward spot here for Rebecca, checking the reach back on the forehand. Yeah, just a placement shot.
Yeah, I think she was just trying to get as far as she can.
Yeah, unless she's trying to throw maybe a weird forehand roll or something, you're really not going to get any further than that from where she was. Rebecca definitely going for it. Catching some late trees, but again, that is everyone's shots have done. Nice little rollout. And as we predicted here, Macie going to the forehand, trying to get up there for a birdie look. Going to be looking down at the elevated basket here.
But also on the other side of that is it goes downhill. So it's just like a berm. There's another downhill side, so she may have a blind shot.
We're going to find out. Natalie just a little bit off on the forehand approach there. Going to go for a similar shot again. Another roll out there, which is kind of fortunate because it gets really tight with all those skinny trees there at the end.
Yeah.
Great shot there from Holly. What a game plan to go mid-range off the tee, fairway second shot to get down to the layup zone, and then a mid-range again to now have a tap-in birdie. Definitely giving it a run there from Rebecca.
She's trying to land on top again.
It's a little bit more difficult on this one. As you said, Macie did go all the way on the backside of this berm.
You can tell the frustration there. She definitely wanted to just touch little forehand outside and get over the berm.
And that happens to the best of us. Like, there's some things maybe you just don't see when you're focusing on the line you need to hit. And there's that one next little vine out of reach or out of view. Yeah, I'm just having to lay it up. Gonna have a slam dunk looking putt here. Finish out hole 18. It's Natalie just outside the circle. Oh,
what a run from that far.
I thought she sunk it. And then the unfortunate roll. Probably rolled it almost 20 feet away. Great confidence there to run it, but man, just unfortunate to bite her like that.
Same looking putt almost. I mean,
It's got to be the cold and the wet on these chains, just having a lot of spit outs left, right. You can see Rebecca there try to correct after she pushed right on a couple of her putts in the last hole. Great comeback for the bogey from Natalie.
This is a tough hole where you're going to see a lot of bogeys or even double bogeys or worse.
Then you can see Holly here with a look for birdie.
Yeah.
Oh, just left. The elevated basket maybe getting her head a little bit. We've all been there with that moment where you realize there's a lot of strokes to be picked up, especially with those on your card or struggling on this elevated basket as Rebecca does here.
This is one that can get you. I mean, it just throws you for a loop sometimes when you're putting on a high basket like this one is.
Yeah, and this hole gets you either early with, maybe being a little bit off in your drives, or here on this, especially with how slick it can get up there with this rain. Even if you hit off the basket, you're going to skip off and roll away. Good correction there for Rebecca. An unfortunate back-to-back double bogeys here. Putting green just being a little bit mean to her today, especially those chains just kicking out and then rolling away. Let's see if Holly can save the par here. Being eye level is definitely an advantage here.
A little bit of weird footing too.
Making sure that hand's warm. Oh.
Same spit out. And these left to right putts are not wanting to catch.
Yeah, that side of the basket just being brutal to this card right now. And stepping up to even a short putt like this for Macie after seeing your card mates have a lot of kickouts, a lot of putts just barely off. Nerves definitely set in, but she's able to settle in. Yeah, Holly realizing how important this putt is to just focus in. Yeah,
Such an up and down putt.
Awkward angle. Unfortunate to see the bogey there after setting herself up for a look for the birdie. But that'll happen. Hole 19, 260 feet, par 3. Really can do whatever you want except go left. Now you got the triple Mando. It doesn't really come into play too much unless you're kind of slipping out, but you're going to see a lot of people throw a hyzer here, but you can see behind the wind is really coming in. These women, even though it's 260 feet, throwing that full speed driver to be able to cut through the wind and be able to have a lot of fade behind it. Here's Holly sawing it off maybe just a little bit.
You can see what that full speed driver does. It just picks up when that nose is up and just keeps going.
Mm-hmm.
That wind just picks it up and carries it.
Yeah, the wider the rim here, the more left to right movement you're going to have. And more skip as well.
And Macie really ripping on it and
thinking it's going out of bounds out of her
wind
hand.
bounce. That
Wow.
wind helped her so much. She's
About,
gonna
about 400 feet long, but she's gonna no,
she's
gonna
gonna have a look
though.
back door.
See if Natalie can make the correction on those two. This basket is kind of tucked into the mouth here, giving a little bit more height. Very overstable driver in the FX2. Still a touch long, but fights to the canopy for a look for a 2.
And Rebecca chalking down to a fairway driver.
Nice little flip up here. Asking for it to get down, knowing the skip is there.
There's a CTP on hole 1. Okay, I see something.
Can't really tell what she ended up there. She may have a look. She may be obstructed. Yeah, pretty simple hole on paper, but with that wind coming into play, and then the way this basket is kind of just tucked into the mouth here on hole 19.
You can see Holly, she had no look at it, so she just had to make it around the corner.
Macie on balance beams here, just having her small little upshot. This course definitely shows its teeth when you're that close to the basket, but really don't even have a look.
And good birdie from Natalie.
Way to finish
it
out. Mm-hmm. Tough last 5 or 6 holes here for Natalie, just up and down, but being able to finish there with a birdie, it's really good. And just like we just said, there's just no line to the basket, even though you're so close. It's a good course design, really makes you decide to play shorter than you need to. be on the side of the basket where you're going to have a clean look. And that's something that as you play a course like this, as the Myrtle Beach Open maybe here next year, realizing and being able to correct. Unfortunately, we don't come back to this course for another round, but that's something that is nice when you play a tournament and you play the same course over and over again. You kind of get an idea of, I need to land on this side of the basket, even though maybe that's not my play, but it will give me an open putt.
Yep. And what a back 9 or back 10.
Yeah.
Brutal holes, and the weather was not helping at all.
Yeah, and these women definitely just struggled today, but I mean, anyone would in these conditions with the cold and the rain. You had Natalie at +4, Holly at +9, just very uncomfortable to do. But we did have a hot score. Deanne Carey shooting 1,000 rated round, her first 1,000 rated round of her career.
In the rain.
Yes, and Katrina Allen also playing quite clean today. It's going to be a battle going into this final round. We're going to go back to Splinter City.
It's going to be a fun one. I'd like to see if the weather can hold up and give them a little bit more sunshine.
Yeah, we're going to find out. We'll see you for round 3.